Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Realms. Today I'm going to take a look at, well, the Epic series, X-Men 97 Cyclops. I was going to try to do a comparison of this to the Marvel Universe one. Unfortunately, doing some rearranging in my house, the closet I store my Marvel Universe in is now blocked off. I could get to it, but I really just don't want to. It would take me hours to move stuff, and then I have to put it all back. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, I'm going to take a look at this just because I'm interested in what this line is going to offer us. Try not to have any prejudgment, but you know, I've seen a few things and I know I'll talk about it. So without further ado, we're going to snip this, get him out of the plastic. Well, no longer a plastic prison. I wouldn't even call it a cardboard prison. It's just, he's kind of just stuck in there. And I'm going to say I don't like this openness because I had Wolverine in the store and I was just playing around. I could reach his claws and I was like, dude, this is a bad idea. This is terrible. I will say they do have him twist tied in there pretty good. I mean, he's locked. So, yeah, here we go. Anywho, I'm clipping him out of his plastic containment. That's what we'll call it here. And there he is, free at last. It points down and says Epic Gear inside. Yeah. It's in the plastic we're used to. Yeah, this is the Epic Gear. We will talk about that in a moment. I am not pleased with that. Well, I'll just say it that way. So, first thing I noticed right off the bat, this has less articulation than a legacy figure or a vintage collection figure. It's done cheaper, so that's why, I'm sure, so that they can cut costs and, you know, make more money. I'm telling you right now, I got issues with this. You know, the articulation is pretty damn basic. This is kind of, you know, hip, knee, arm, shoulder, head, of course. You know, you can turn. But it's not anything to write home about either. As I look at him, he seems a bit short. I'm not sure. I've got some vintage well, actually, these are from Legacy. But yeah, they'll work just the same. I just filmed a series of videos with a Legacy collection that you'll see soon. That was just some stuff off of my shelf. This is him beside a Kylo Ren. Ooh, buddy. Wait a minute. Kylo's ankle doesn't want to sit right. Hold on just a sec. Kylo, damn it. What's wrong with you? I don't want to put a stand on him because it's going to make him look even taller. Okay. Yeah, so this is, bring it in closer so you guys can see. They're close, but Kylo looks a bit taller. Let me get another figure out. Just our Purge Trooper. Here we go. Let's see that. Okay, Kylo, move over. And it works a little better with a Purge Trooper, so maybe. I think they were boosting Kylo's hide a little bit because, you know, he's the main bad guy and all that. So, you gotta make him tall like Vader, right? Wrong. So, yeah, there's a little bit on the height. He's a little bit, yeah, so I do find him a little bit, and it could be just me thinking of Marvel Universe. And I know those guys, you know, they were 4-inch, but we always called them 1/18 scale. And, yeah, so there's that. So, I don't understand why he doesn't have trunks, but, you know, he doesn't have trunks. We'll just leave it at that. The figure has, the regular design has trunks. So I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so, the little sucker ring goes around his head, and I'll put it on there. This is stupid. This is so dumb. And there it is. This looks moronic. This is awful. I saw somebody say, well, how else could they do it? I'm like, dude, Wolverine Origins line, Astonishing Cyclops, did a Cyclops who had an optic blast that plugged into his head, and when you took it out, it didn't look bad. I mean, it was not terrible. So, yeah, it can be done, people. Quit limiting your imaginations. I mean, just look at the recent history. I mean, that was 2009, so that, don't tell me that's not possible. This ring thing is just stupid. I hate it. Okay. The mold's alright. The paint's alright. Except for the trunk thing. I mean, I do kind of wish he had some extra articulation. Like, my brain says he should have thigh articulation. Just because of these, I guess. The rings on his knees. On his thighs there. I just think he should have thigh articulation. And he doesn't, and it throws me off. Does he have wrists? No wrist articulation. Wow. This is really limited on the articulation. Mold's kind of basic. And, I mean, he's not anything special to write home about as far as the mold goes. I mean, it's Cyclops, so what are you going to do, right? Yeah, there's not much you can do. What do I think about this? Okay, this is what I think. This is a figure that was done by somebody who firmly believes 1/18 scale figures cannot have the same level of articulation and detail as 1/12 scale, which is out and out lie. Look at vintage. So they just went minimalizing with this because that's what they believe. And, you know, yeah, sure, that's probably coming from somebody in Hasbro to try to spin why we do all these 1/12 scale figures and don't bother with 1/18 scale anymore. The truth of the matter is they at one time had some of the best people in the world doing 1/18 scale. And, well, a lot of them got laid off. I'll tell you one who designed Pursuit of Cobra. He's doing Action Force now. He owns the company. He put a lot of detail into the Pursuit of Cobra figures and a lot of articulation. I mean, that was it. I mean, there was as much articulation in Pursuit of Cobra as there is in most Classified and Marvel Legends. There were no butterfly joints. Okay. Butterfly joints weren't a thing back then. I don't think a butterfly joint would assist a 1/18 scale figure. But, as a result, this feels very cheap. I know. People are going to argue, but it's for the kids. It's not for you. Well, it is for me. Because what kid cares about X-Men 97? I mean, the only kids that care about X-Men 97 is when their parents care about it. And they're only caring just to, they don't really care either way. I mean, they just don't. This, I mean, this Epic series line, it's not good. It's the bare minimum. And that hurts it. I mean, it hurts it a lot. I don't think I'm going to be buying a whole lot of these, because I have a lot better versions. I mean, in a lot of ways, this reminds me of, there was a side line, a subline for Spider-Man in the Marvel Universe. They were shorter, had less articulation, etc., but cost the same. And I always said, why? Because this isn't right. This is what that reminds me of, is that line. And it was clear Hasbro made a mint off that line because they could do it so much cheaper. And now, I don't know who they're trying to appeal to. Does this even have a waist articulation? Hell no. Wow, no waist or torso articulation. Now, first time I saw torso articulation on 1/8 scale figure, I thought it was shit. They did eventually work to where it kind of works, but still, you know, it's not great. Well, it's not great in Marvel Legends or Classified either. So I mean, it's not a great. They're still working on it, is what I'm trying to say. They're still trying to get that articulation to work right. So, you know, it's not like that's a new thing. But this has virtually nothing in the torso at all. Nothing. And that's just like, wow. So, I don't get who this is to. This is a massive step backwards from Marvel Universe. Massive. Yeah, I mean, even when Marvel Universe cut the articulation, there was more articulation in those than in this. And you know what? Despite those limitations, those looked a lot better than this. I mean, there was just a general look to them that, you know, you kind of just went, okay, I know this is not the way the rest of the line looks, but you know what? And I know this cheapens out, but you know what else? It still works, and I'm going to keep going with it. Is kind of what I said way back in the day. And it's, you know, this isn't good. I'm not a fan. I don't think I'm going to be buying too many more of these. It's just, yeah, I'm a 1/18 guy, but this is bad. This feels cheap, and it feels like a cop-out. So that's all I can really say. I mean, it's a cheap figure. I mean, the plastic's cheap, you can tell. You can just feel it and tell it's cheap. So I can't recommend this. If you want it, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, but again, this is not a good thing. I don't like it. That's really all I can say. Anyway, that's it for Infinite Realms. Don't forget to like and subscribe.